Lange Show. My next guest is a guy who's been a friend of mine for a while. As talented and as funny as a stand-up comic gets, man. And a good man. He'll be at Gotham Comedy Club tomorrow and into the weekend. So go check him out if you're around. Please welcome Pete Correale.
Hey,
what's up,
John,
Pete?
what's up?
Hey.
I just have to start by saying I was listening to the band, and when they were talking about Seattle and the bad weather, then what's the excuse with Canada? They gave us Gordon Lightfoot and Ryan Adams and nothing else. Oh, well, they got Neil Young. Neil
Young covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, but he made his best music in California, so there goes that theory.
He had to leave. No, that's true. It's a good point. There's a lot you think Seattle a bit with Hendrix, you got Duff, you got some other people with Nirvana, but there's probably that's for every great band. There's 80,000 ones that make you sick to your stomach. And pretentious boys.
I have to say too. First of all, Hendrix wouldn't have lit his guitar on fire without heroin, so let's keep that in mind.
That was a good idea.
All right. And second of all, obviously I'm more than ecstatic that Duff is here and you're still here.
Right.
But I remember hanging out with you one time, telling you my love of Dean Martin.
Right.
And sometimes, because you told me this great story about seeing him at a bar at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
Sometimes, wouldn't it? It would almost have been better if he did pass away before you had the chance to meet him in that capacity. Because I wasn't even there. I don't know if you. I
remember.
Know if you told the story on the
me
air.
and Norm met him once.
Have you told the story on the air?
No. Go ahead, tell it. Yeah.
Well, you tell it, but I just want to say after you tell it, the point of it is I haven't seen Dean in the same way ever since, and I wasn't even there.
Well, he was just ossified. He was just gone. He had a bunch of shots. It was at the Hamburger Hamlet, actually, in Beverly Hills. And he would always go there to the bar. And he just was like, his son had died a few years before, in a car. And he was just a zombie. He was a zombie sitting at the bar, an old man, and could barely get his hand up. And he was just drunk, and he was drooling.
Right.
And you're like, it's Dean. Like, Dino. And you're right. He would almost not have ever met him.
Exactly. Sometimes it's a little
bad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man?
Well, you got an interesting story. Like, me and you were working together a lot, and then you moved out to L.A. How long were you actually in L.A. for?
I was in L.A. for about 9 months.
Right.
And, I could do all the cliches.
Right,
but,
sure.
Yeah, but I had to get out of there, man. You
couldn't deal with it.
I got to tell you, the story I like to tell is I was in the back of a bar at some point about 8-9 months in, and some guy at a party is showing me photos of his dog that he rescued on an abandoned road in Mexico. Everyone in L.A. rescues their damn dogs, right?
Yeah.
So I felt the need to show him a photo of my dog that I rescued for $1,300 from a pet shop on Lexington Avenue, right?
Yeah. I get mad, too, if you go to a pet shop. Oh, that's brutal.
Right. Well, but still, the bottom line is, at one point, we're both looking at photos of each other's dogs, and I had this thought where I'm like, if I gently leaned over and kissed this guy on the lips right now, it would be less gay than the moment we were currently having. You know what I mean? Look, you were in Philly for John. You know what it's like. Photos of dogs, they'd run you out of town anywhere else for that.
Photos of dogs.
So I had to pack my bags, man.
Here's my dog.
And nothing goes on out there. Then I moved to this tiny. My wife got pregnant. I have a 3.5-month-old girl now. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
And we moved to this small town, upstate New York, on Lake Erie called Fredonia.
Now, what made you choose? I'm sure it's beautiful, but what made you choose that area?
All right, my wife's family's from a town called Dunkirk, which I'm not living there. If you've ever been there, I mean, we're talking.
I know of it.
Yeah, it's awful, man. It's just so this is the nicest town nearby. Because I'm like, dude, I'm going on the road, I told her. So, wherever it's going to make you more comfortable, you know what I mean?
You're going to be on the road. You're going to have a happy home life, somewhat normal, relaxing. You got the kid, and you're in show business. You're a comic on the road, right?
Mm-hmm. And then, I go out, the whole sitcom nonsense, nothing happens 4 or 5 different times. Then I'm out in L.A., nothing's going on. I move to this small town. Next thing you know, I get a call from Ryan Seacrest Productions.
Of course you do. Why? Of course. That's the natural next thing that happens.
Of course, right? Through A&E, and they go, we've been looking to do a show about a comic who doesn't live in L.A., Anyway, I came on their radar. Next thing you know, it was a reality show. So, but see, the thing about these reality shows, though, it's almost like they came out and we filmed a pilot. And if it got picked up, I'm kind of proud of it because the reality is like Duck Dynasty's not reality.
Right.
It's this show, writers and everything is contrived.
It's all written. Yeah,
right. So part of you has to go, reality. They caught that magic because that's what you want to sell. But the reality is, no, man. We sat down and we came up with these scenarios, and
And to me, at least, it's not as bad as the bad sitcom. Like, if the sitcom turns out well, it's okay. But the bad reality version, to me, isn't as bad as that awful sitcom that it could be. Because my first deal in 1997 was for a pilot, Fox. Total generic sitcom. We shot a pilot, and again, it was good money, and it was a life lesson. I was, 30 years old, but it's the worst piece of crap. And I'm bad in it. It's bad. It's just like, a reality show would have been better, even if it was bad.
Right, yeah.
It was bad acting it was just like not good. So you like it though. I mean, you want it, do you want it to get picked up?
Look, my friends sometimes are like, are you cool with your daughter being on TV? I'm like, I don't have a choice. I'm tearing it up at the clubs.
I don't have a choice.
People come up to me, they shake my hand like Billy Joel, like, man, what are you doing here? But I'm like, come back.
Right.
Then Joe Schmo, who's been on TV and is really an open micer, selling I always like to say, I could be playing at a club, and if all of a sudden Kevin Bacon decided to do knock-knock jokes across the street, I'd have no audience. That's the respect of comedy, man.
That's what a comedian gets, So,
So I need to do this. So bring the cameras down, whatever you need me to do.
Well, now you have a special coming out, though, right?
No, I did a special.
Did a special.
And I have a CD, I put out a CD, too. Because,
what's the name of the CD?
Give It a Rest.
Oh, okay.
I took a bunch of my favorite jokes that I'm not sticking around waiting for Showtime to decide they're ready to make a special with. I'm like, I'm putting them out, and I'm not doing them anymore. We'll call it Give It a Rest. The cover album is a tombstone. I got a rock. And Artie, you know how it is in this business. Even then, the guy I'm doing the CDs with, he's like, well, first of all, I go, I'm gonna go to a graveyard and I'm gonna stand in front of a tombstone. And he goes, well, you gotta get a licensing fee from the graveyard. I go, bro, I'm calling you from the graveyard right now where I'm gonna film the photo. So he goes, well, no, you can't do that. So I go, all right, well, I'll get a rock. I'll make it look like a tombstone. He's like,
get a rock.
He's like, let me look up photographers in the Buffalo area.
That's unbelievable.
I go, I got a photographer. I take my wife. We go out with the camera, and I stand in front of a tombstone, and everyone's like, what a great photo.
Again,
BS.
Photography is one of those things where is it an art? Is it not an art? I'm telling you, on an iPhone, again, my girlfriend, here's my new book. My girlfriend took that picture on the Upper West Side.
Oh, my God. See?
What's the difference between that and any picture of me on a book?
Other than the fact that that's fantastic, and if a photographer did it, you'd be made up. He'd probably make you shave.
No, there's no makeup. She took it one day on the Upper West Side. We were walking around. Now it's the back of a book. Now she's giving me, what am I going to make for it? I got to know.
I couldn't agree more, man. Photography is, even when you were playing football, a great photo was just the guy in the right place at the right time.
Well, sports, we got to take a break real quick, but I want to come back and talk about that, because sports photos, there's a whole special about that on HBO. Every guy just got lucky. He happened to be there. We'll be back with the great Pete Correale, who was at Gotham this weekend, after these words.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.